Guys, this is the last episode of Logout in Public, and I think I'm done. So it has been a month. Today it's time to show you all the results, all the recap, all of the impact that it had in my life. I don't want to show you something that is sort of the perfect story. Okay, I started a challenge. Wow, it's incredible. Here are my results. This is something that could happen for some people, I think. But I also think that for many things, if it's not all of the things we do, it's not perfect. We need to accept that there are some things that are either out of our control or either out of our scope in terms of capacity or in terms of skill or in terms of energy, etc. I'm not trying to find some excuses, okay? It's just about telling you that I'm going to be 100% transparent with you in this video about the result of this challenge, okay? So I'm going to share the highs and also the downs, okay? So concerning the downs, let's start with this. I don't feel motivated now to put energy into breaking my phone addiction. Actually, since let's say the day 20 or let's say the day even 15, the motivations went down, okay? And I think that's because first, I've already done this in the past, this kind of challenge, and this challenge in particular, I've already done this in the past, and it was not the first time. I didn't feel, I think, enough challenge, and that's why I didn't feel enough motivation since the middle of the challenge to actually continue. When something become too easy for you, and this is not being arrogant to say this, too easy for you, and you don't have enough challenge, you are not motivated. There is nothing, there is no adversity, there is nothing else. It's like I've already proved to myself that I can do it. And this was also the case in the first, let's say the first week, at the end of the first week, 7 to 10 days, when your screen times goes down, and you notice all of these great results and impact in your life, in your focus, in your attention, in your ability to work on hard things, etc. When you have done this first step, then it's like, okay, you have proven to yourself that you can do it. Now go back to it, okay? And this is a trap. And I think that I fall into this trap in the middle of the challenge. And that's why I believe now that this is just the first step of something which is much more bigger, okay? If you just have the objective to break your phone addiction, this is a great first step, but you can integrate this into a much more longer way and a much bigger objective, which is to become someone which is deep, someone which is not superficial, someone which is intelligent, someone which is cultured, etc. And that's why I'm now actually engaged into another challenge, which is called from zero to intellect. I called this that way, and I've started this challenge and I've started to implement some things in my life in this way. But to arrive there, you still have to take this first step, which is your phone addiction break. And this first step actually gave me so much results and learnings this month with you. And I'm just going to give you let's say the 3 to 4, I think, biggest impact that it had in my life, which is personal and also professional, okay? So the first thing is that in this month, I've produced, written, edited, and published 10 YouTube videos. So 5 on this channel and 5 others on another channel, which is for the French audience and which is much more produced than the one I'm doing right now, okay? So I've never produced this amount of content and of value in my entire life in 1 month. So that's actually something which is, for me, marvelous. Compared to what I used to do in the past month, I was about, let's say, 1 to 2 videos per month. This is times 5 of my production. So that's huge. So this is the first thing. The second thing is that I finished reading 2 books in Arabic language, which is not my native language. And I was not, something important, I didn't try to read them fast or stuff like that. I was just actually replacing my scrolling habits by reading something which is deep and spiritual. And so I was reading slowly. I was, as you can see, I was taking notes, etc. And I was actually sometimes rereading one page, rereading 2 pages, rereading some passages, etc. So I was actually taking my time to consider the concepts I was reading as something which is enriching my heart and my religion and my spirituality in general. So 2 books, compared to the past month, I was not reading almost at all spiritual books. I never finished 2 spiritual books in 1 month. Okay, so this is also something which is noticeable. The third thing, which is about my emotion and my humor, let's say, I feel much more stable. And I think that this is because it's like I don't have contact. I don't know what is actually happening in the world, and that's why I'm much more stable. I also feel much more clear in my thinking, in my decision, in my work. And the fourth thing is that my ability to focus increased a lot. And I've already in the past educated myself to being able to focus, to deeply focus on a hard task, for example. But I've noticed here, it's not about the depth of my focus that is increased, but it was my ability to focus for a longer period of time. So approximately, I was able to focus for, let's say, 40 minutes, deep focus for 40 minutes. Now, it's not a problem to focus for 1 hour, 1 hour and 10 minutes, for example. So it's an addition of 30 minutes, and this is huge. Okay, this is huge actually for me, and I've noticed this on some of the tasks I made, and I'm so happy for this actually. And something else I've noticed these last days is that I'm able to focus in the moment I wasn't able to focus on previously. So previously, for example, I think this was my belief, maybe just a belief, but I thought that I wasn't able, for example, to focus on evening to work on something which is deep or something which is hard. And now, and I made this 2 days ago, I worked on a hard task from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m., 2 hours of focus. And this is something incredible. Now I have 2 things to tell you. The first thing is to actually thank you for watching this series and following me through this challenge. I saw some comments, some likes on the video, so actually thank you for this. And the second thing is something I was working on the last days, and that's also why I delayed the publishing of this video. I've noticed that a lot of you know and are aware of this problem of phone addiction, social media addiction, etc., dopamine, etc. And you already know tips, tricks, some methods, some things to help you break with this addiction. And there are a lot of content on YouTube about this. But what I've noticed is that there is nothing which is actually helping you implementing this thing in your life to actually have the results you should have, and you should definitely have, if you want to be someone which is deep, someone which produces great work, and to be a deep person. And that's why I've decided to do something that would benefit some of you. So for the ones that don't want only the techniques, don't want only the spirit and the approach to follow to break your phone addiction, this will be for you. I invite you to do the same thing I've done in this challenge in your life. I'm launching a cohort which is called the Logout Cohort. And this is about breaking your phone addiction in 30 days, following the path I followed in this series. So actually what I've done is considering all of my experience doing this challenge, all of the mistakes I made, all of the actions I took, all of the mind shifts I felt, all of these things, and all of the also concepts, frameworks, and insights I find in books related to this and researches related to this particular addiction. And so I've put all of this together, and I've created a specific method, step by step, to follow in 30 days to really break this addiction for the long term. This is not about doing a challenge for 30 days. This cohort is not a challenge. This cohort is not about proving to yourself that you can break your phone addiction. But this cohort is about becoming this person that actually broke his phone addiction for the long term. And I just let you imagine the difference between you for the rest of your life being addicted to your phone and to social media, etc., and to distractions and dopamine, and you which has broken this addiction. Imagine the difference between these two versions of yourself. Imagine in 1 year, imagine in 5 years, imagine in 10 years, in 20 years. That's just marvelous. In your personal life, in your professional life, in your project, in your relations, etc. If you want to know about this and if you want to enroll in this cohort, we are going to be 10 people. I'm going to help just 10 people for the first cohort, okay, the first group of the cohort, in order to be very near to them, near to their needs, etc. And so if you want to know more about this, I'm gonna put a link down below this video, and you go there and you will find a video that is actually presenting the cohort, what is it about, who is this for, etc., and what you can expect from it. Thank you for watching this series, and thank you for watching this video. I hope it was at least something which gave you the energy and the inspiration to actually log out completely and become someone which is not a slave of social media, not a slave of its screen, someone which is absent when he is with the people he loves, but someone which is serious, someone which is deep, someone which is cultured. And I hope it helped you in this way. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next videos.